So, Clerk, do you have quorum? We do have quorum. You may proceed to call the first order for the afternoon.
Order number 1, communication from the chair.
Now, honorable senators, ladies and gentlemen, as you will recall, at the commencement of the hearing of the proposed removal from office by impeachment of Honorable Amos Nyaribo, the Governor of Nyamira County, earlier today, Wednesday, 3rd of December 2025, Counsel for the Governor raised a preliminary objection to the hearing of the proposed removal from office by impeachment of Honorable Amos Nyaribo on the following grounds: that the impeachment motion dated 11th of November 2025 failed to attain the constitutional and statutory threshold, and that therefore the purported resolution for removal of the governor by way of impeachment was invalid and incompetent, as it failed to meet the mandatory threshold under Article 181 of the Constitution and Section 33 of the County Governments Act, and B, that the concept of proxy voting was alien, illegal, and null and void, and the attempt to explain the discrepancy through proxy voting was legally untenable and compounds the illegality of the proceedings premised on acts of fraud, forgery, and misrepresentation. Now, honorable senators, in urging the Senate to find that the threshold of 2/3 of all members of the County Assembly in support of the impeachment motion was not achieved, Counsel Elias Mutuma for the Governor stated that the County Assembly of Nyamira comprises 35 members, and that therefore the requisite 2/3 majority for a valid impeachment resolution was 24 members of the County Assembly. Council further submitted that the official record of the sitting of the County Assembly held on 25th of November 2025 confirmed that only 19 members were physically present in the Assembly chamber. Council stated that despite this, the Assembly recorded 23 votes in favor of the motion, and that this was numerically impossible, and that to him, this demonstrated that improper and fraudulent voting had occurred. Now, Counsel for the Governor submitted that the phrase, all the members of the County Assembly in Section 33(2) of the County Governments Act is not ambiguous and refers to the total composition of the County Assembly as established under Article 177 of the Constitution and as gazetted by the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission after the 2022 general elections. Now, Council contended that as a membership of the Nyamira County Assembly is 35 members, and as 2/3 of 35 is 23.33, this can only be rounded off to 24 members. Now, Council further submitted that the County Assembly's argument that the 3 vacancies in the Assembly reduce all the members, end quote, from 35 to 32 was legally flawed and absurd. Council therefore urged that for these reasons, the impeachment proceedings before the Senate could not proceed and required to be terminated at the preliminary stage. Now, Counsel for the County Assembly took a different view on this matter. The thrust of the argument in response to the first preliminary issue was that the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, in Gazette number 9956 of 2022, published on 24th August 2022, set out the names of the elected members of the Nyamira County Assembly, and further that this was not the limit or absolute number of members who were required to sit in the Assembly at any given time. Council further noted that when the Constitution and the County Governments Act imposed the requirement of 2/3, this could only refer to 2/3 of the members present at any particular time. According to the Council, an alternative interpretation would mean that no activity could go on should there be a vacancy or a challenge in filling the vacancy, and further, that any business that has been transacted by the County Assembly of Nyamira on the basis of the members of the County Assembly of Nyamira at the time will be null and void. Council further stated that this issue is a question of fact that ought to be determined through the examination of evidence during hearing. On the second limb, on the second limb of the preliminary objection relating to voting by proxy by the 4 members of the County